Brooklyn. For a lot of just local artists mainly. This one artist I worked with, Tunde Alaniran, he's a Flint artist. We would travel all over the U.S. and do shows. And
Oh, cool. Cool. Now, what was the artist's name again?
Tunde Alaniran.
Okay, cool. I'll have to look it up. Now,
Yeah.
oh yeah, my chat didn't hear me because I had our volume completely down. Unfortunately, I turned everything but that on. So, what they cut. So
Okay.
I know on your site it said in 2014 is when you started actually recording music. Now, do you write all of your own songs?
Yes, yes, I do. It's mainly just all of the life experiences I've been through, and I love to inspire people, like just to motivate people.
Right.
And sometimes everybody doesn't like to listen when you converse with them. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna just write everything that I would like to say to the world in
Right.
lyrics. Just write it down.
That is really,
So
really cool. Yeah, I noticed on your website, it was really cool to go and take a look at it. And how you were just pretty much writing, a letter to people like, look, follow what inspires you. I know one thing you said on there is excuses are limitations. And that it's like we don't even think about it nowadays, but it's true. Like if you have an excuse, well, what are you going to do to make sure that it's not in your way? In your life,
exactly,
like
yeah.
what has inspired you? Because I know for anybody starting out, whether it's music, whether it's modeling, anything in any of these like industries, like you have rough times. What people see out there is the finished product. That was one thing that Sean and I discussed. Is he's like most of Hollywood people don't understand. Like most of it's excuse me, most of it's failure. But they see the finished product. For you, what has
Hmm.
helped you, despite any hard times and whatnot? What has helped you to keep pushing forward to follow your dream?
It mainly was when I was younger. I basically, my mother wasn't raising me right, and then my grandmother took me under her wing, and she pushed me to always work. She had her own restaurant in the city of Detroit, and I worked there since I was 13 all the way up till I was like 22, 23.
Oh
So
wow,
um, I was doing that plus going to college, plus dancing for other artists. And when she when she told me, she said when she was 13, she always had a passion for playing piano and dance and singing. So I was just like, wow. And then her mom shattered her dreams, like, no, you can't do that or whatever. And her mom passed. Well, my great grandmother passed, and then it was just like when what really inspired me to just do it was when my grandma was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it, and she was like 80 something, and I just called her up one day. I was like, Grandma, I'm gonna start singing. I'm gonna sing. She was like, what, are you really? And then that was like the last time I heard from her, and that inspired me. And then I got two young girls now, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just keep doing this, inspiring other women and young women to just do what you love. Don't let nothing or no one stop you. Don't let no excuse limit you from what you need to do. So,
that is
yeah.
amazing. And now you're gonna make me cry. Don't make me cry. I'm not allowed to. My makeup go everywhere. But and it's like you said, it's don't not to let anything limit us. And so many times with, whether it's the political stuff going on, the social stuff, like, the coronavirus, like, having to wear a mask everywhere you go, like it's hard because you don't get that personal interaction with people. But,
Hmm.
like you said, now we can actually talk to each other. We don't have masks on and it's great.
Yeah.
Um, but not allowing that to like hold us back. It's very
Hmm.
easy, and I know in my life it's been very easy. Like, well, I can't do this because of this, and this. And
Hmm.
well, instead of thinking how many times you can't do it, why don't you think, why can't I? What,
Yeah.
how can
Yeah.
I do this? And that's I see
Hmm.
that as a lot of what you did, which I thought was really awesome. Um, and you just like, I I can't even talk right now. But but
No,
it's
I
just
understand what you're saying though. Yeah.
it's really amazing. Now you said you had two daughters now, two young girls now, right?
Yeah.
Now,
She's, yeah.
go ahead.
Um, one of them is 1.5, and the other one's 3. She'll be 4 in November. So,
Does that help
yeah,
inspire you to keep pushing forward for them also and hoping that they'll pursue whatever dreams they might have eventually?
yeah. It's an amazing feeling, especially when I went to the studio yesterday, and I brought my young daughters and my husband with me, and they were just all chilling. And when I was singing, and when I heard like the rough draft of the song, like my little young daughter just came in there and she was like bobbing her head and she was just like smiling. I was like recording us and she was just
Aw,
smiling at the camera and stuff, and I was just like, see, it's like it's good when even my oldest daughter will be like, hey mom, sing a song, or hey mommy, that's you. She'll see a picture on my lap. It's
right.
like, hey mommy, that's you, or play that song, that's you. Like, it's good to know that, I have fans. My daughters are my fans
Yep.
too. And so
That's one of
they
the
definitely,
that's one of the biggest fans that you could ever have, you know. I know one thing that you mentioned on your website said we let the opinions of others and self-doubt limit us from creating our own destiny. And that is like it's so true, you know. Um, and then I definitely I
yeah.
want to play one of your songs here.
Yeah.
I believe it's called Slow, if I remember correctly. One
On
second
slow.
here. Yes. That was the video I was gonna play.
Yeah. And it's still on Vivo. That's crazy because it's because I was signed with this man. I had a management deal and that didn't go well, but they kept me on Vivo. My video was still on Vivo. So I'm like,
Oh
it's 4
wow.
years old and it's still on there. So it's like you can just go to Vivo R&B and then my video will pop up on a playlist. You know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
it's an amazing experience.
That is so cool. Let me pull this up here real quick.
Yeah. And before you play that video, I just
Yeah.
want to say, like, that song Slow, like, this is how I knew that I had that potential, because when I was at a photo shoot for this fashion designer, and the guy, he he was like shooting the photos and all that. And he was like, and I told him I do music, whatever. He heard my song. He was like, you know what? I'll shoot that video for free.
What?
And then when I seen that video, I was like, what the heck? But now, if you look him up right now, he's worked with Fabulous, the rapper Fabulous.
Really?
He works with a lot of high end artists now. Like, he's worked with, I don't know if you heard of Cash Doll, and
Mm-hmm.
he's worked with a lot of like major artists in the industry. From
Oh wow.
the fact that he was like, yo, I'll shoot your video
And
for
he did it
free.
for
I was like,
free?
he did it for free.
Oh my goodness. That is
Yeah.
amazing. Like
Yeah. I was,
you don't find people that do anything for free nowadays, especially, but that is pretty freaking awesome. All right, I got this pulled up
yeah.
here. One second. See, this is the wonders of doing things live is that, everything you have everything set up and rearing to go, and then all of a sudden, oh, just kidding. We aren't doing this anymore. All right, let's try this again. So, are you originally from Detroit? Here in Detroit then, or is that where? Because you mentioned, I think it was your grandmother that had a restaurant in Detroit then.
Yeah. I mean, Highland Park is pretty much like a little town inside of Detroit. So it's kind of like
Right,
Highland Park, Detroit. But I basically just like, I went to school in Detroit, and I worked my whole life has been Detroit. So,
right.
um, I finished high school in Oak Park, Michigan, but I'm like, okay, that's only like 2 years of my life, but mainly my origin is Detroit. So
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
That is really cool. Like I've only lived up here for a couple of years now, but Detroit is a city of its own. Like, a lot of times you're like, oh well, this, Chicago's like such and such, and it's this, and it's like Detroit is so like it's so diverse. Is it's very very
Hmm.
diverse. Like,
Hmm.
all right, here we go. Now I can do it. Sorry guys.
And it's like I know it was my first music video, and I'm like, there was the video was nice and the song was nice, and it was like I was just so nervous throughout that video. So
Right?
I even be critiquing it still, like, man, I could have did better, but I'm like, it's okay because other people is like, you did your thing, so
Ah,
you know. From there to where I am now, it's like, whoa. I mean, like, I grew so much, you know.
okay, here we go here. Yeah, I love this song and the video is fantastic.
Thank you, thank you.
I don't
Really
want you
cool.
to ever let go, ever let go. We can take it slow, and I'ma make you grab on hold, cause we about to take it slow. I could make it
I should have just made a
possible,
cup
you'll
of
be
coffee.
coming out your
Like, duh, coffee conversation. I'm
Right.
drinking water.
so play a
You were
little
more than welcome to go and
icy,
grab a
turn
cup
the
of coffee
lights
while the
way
video is
down
playing.
low,
Like,
so we can take it fast play, spin the bottle every hour, something different. Kiss and touch and got me blushing, won't chase this
On the
moment for
next
nothing.
coffee
Now you're
conversation,
thinking
hopefully you
what
can
I'm
invite me.
thinking. Every
I'll
day
make sure I
is
have
cuddle
a
season,
mug.
every day is cuddle season. Body talk, it's the reason there is something about you that makes me feel so safe. You wrap your arms around me, I love your embrace. Wait a second, let me light these candles. Aromatherapy, stimulate my mind, calling into telepathy. I don't want you to ever let go, ever let go. We can take it slow, and I'ma make you grab on hold, cause we about to take it slow. I could make it possible, you'll be coming out your flow, out your flow. So play a little
Don't
icy,
interrupt
turn the
me. I'm
lights
in an
way
interview.
down low, so we
She
can
might laugh
take it
about
My
it.
husband.
She might
slow.
laugh
You
about
and
it.
me
Like,
under the
what's the
starlight, red, pink, and white roses are the flowers that I like. Spread them all over the floor, a slow dancing, romance at its finest. This is our chance to experience euphoria, explore the possibilities. Make me feel special when you tell me, baby, take it slow. No need to rush, baby, take it slow. Just take it slow. Take it slow. I don't want you to ever let go. Ever let go. We can take it slow, and I'ma make you grab on hold, cause we about to take it slow. I can make it possible, you'll be coming out your flow, out your flow. So play a little icy, turn the lights way down low, so we can take it slow. We can take it slow, slow. We can take it slow. We can take it slow, slow. We can take it slow. We can take it slow, slow. We can take it slow. We can take it slow, slow. We can take it slow. We can take it slow, slow. We can take it slow. We can take it slow, slow. We can take it slow. We can take it slow, slow. We can take it slow. We can take it slow, slow. We can take it slow. I don't want you to ever let go. Let go. We can take it slow, and I'ma make you grab on hold, cause we about to take it slow. I can make it possible, you'll be coming out your flow, out your flow. So play a little icy, turn the lights way down low, so we can take it slow.
Joe Biden has a plan to invest in Black-owned businesses. Black
and let's go back up here so that they can hear me too. And ta-da! Both back. Okay.
It's okay.
There. Yay. So you said you write all of your music. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what that song in particular, do you remember what inspired you to write that song?
I guess just I guess what inspired me was just I honestly was just writing like a story. It wasn't like something like that reflected from like my experience in life. It was just like just I guess I was writing a fantasy, just writing a story about, just a woman or a man wanting to be in a relationship, but just taking it slow and just getting to know each other and just not rushing it because a lot of relationships these days people just they just rush into things and then they realize, oh wow, what did I do? Like they regret it. So that
Right.
song was mainly about just getting to know the person
Right.
and just like um getting to know their energy and just feeling that vibe or whatever and
Exactly.
then
Exactly. Oh
and
yeah.
then
I
yeah.
totally get it. Um and one of my uh, people in chat said that she loves that. So, and a lot of them really liked it as soon as I started it. One of the first questions that they had in the chat was, are you gonna play one of her songs? Are you gonna play one of her videos?" And so I'm like, "Yes, I am. I promise." So, yeah, I was gonna ask you one other not song, sorry. Another song. Um, where is it here? Um, there. So, what is like your do you have like an ultimate goal of like what you want to do? Do you want to um obviously progress in your music career and everything else? Um now is are you hoping that maybe you can get signed? Have now you mentioned you kind of had an in and out with kind of like a manager. Do you currently have a manager right now? Are you looking for a manager right now?
At the moment I'm just managing and doing all of my songwriting and everything. The songwriting I'm good with, but management and as far as like needing like a assistant and an agent, yes, I can
Okay.
use that. But like as far as I know, you said my goal. I have an ultimate goal. I kind of want to put it out there, but I kind of just want to just
Hey,
wait for the
you
right
know?
moment.
Oh yeah.
It's a really big goal. It's a really
And
big
that's
goal. That's
okay.
why I'm like, um, but I know that what I discovered is you don't necessarily need to be signed with a major label to get like on the iTunes charts. That's my goal is to be at the number one iTunes chart next year, like my first R&B album, because I know this album is gonna be the shit. And I've never like really felt this confident about my music until this year. And it was
Right.
just like I'm like, oh man, if I just go ahead and just push out a few more songs and compile it into an album and release it in January, that thing will get up to the number one spot on the iTunes R&B charts. And I'm like, I can do that. You know,
Heck yeah.
I'm gonna put it out there at the right
Oh
time.
yeah.
When it's done, it's gonna be available for everyone.
That'll be awesome. And you'll know. You'll know. I mean, that's the thing about all of this. Like, you know when it's time. You know when you're ready, you know. And yeah, for all you guys watching, go to Sun City, CIENCITY.com. She has CienTell has some of her songs available on there. You can listen to them. She also has some merchandise on there if you guys want to support her. Because I know here in our community, like we try to do everything we can to support each other and to help each other grow because, all we have is each other. And if we can't help each
Yes.
other, then, we've got to help each other. So, yeah, I'll make sure
Definitely.
that they go and check that out. And you're on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, is that correct? Or do you mainly
Yes.
just use a couple of them? What ones do you use the most? I'll put your handle in
In,
the chat.
Instagram is just Sin City, CIENCITY _ and on Facebook it's just my name, CienTell. You could just type in CienTell. You know how you have like your first and last name, the
Uh-huh.
Facebook name. I just split up Sin and then the last name Tell, so it's like CienTell.
That's
So
awesome. That is
I was
awesome.
like, I'm like, I'm not gonna put my whole full name on there. I'm just gonna put my artist name as my Facebook name. So
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah.
That is awesome. Um, if you had any like advice or anything to tell somebody that, you know, is going through a rough time and is trying to figure out, what are they going to do with their life now? I mean, that could be, they could be a teenager, they could be in their 30s, they could be in 20s, who knows, all ages. Like, what would be like one thing you would want to say to that person or to say to somebody that wants to do something but just is like unsure or nervous about it or whatever?
I would say, first and foremost, words are powerful. A lot of people doubt that, but what you put out, what you say, and even in whatever goal that you have that you're unsure about, you're like, I don't know, just write it down on paper, but be like as precise as possible. You could say like, I would like to I would like to start a music career. I would like to go to law school. I would like to I would like to become a ballet dancer. I would like to become a basketball player. Whatever goal that is, just write it down. This is what I want to just say. I will become such and such. I deserve this. I will do it. And when you write down precisely what you want, just write it down on paper and put it away. Don't even think about it anymore and just start doing it. Sometimes you just really, that saying goes, when you're at the edge, you just got to just jump,
Right.
not just like lean over and be like, oh, that's too steep. Jump. You got to jump,
Yep.
because I was holding myself back for so freaking long that I was just like, dog, if I would have had the same uh confidence and tenacity that I have now when I was in my 20s, I would probably be somewhere singing with Nicki Minaj and all them right now, or doing records with Beyonce and all them. But I'm like, shoot, I'm 35. Okay, I started late. So what? So, you just gotta like go. You gotta just do it.
Well, if it's any
Don't even get.
consolation, you don't look 35. So I seriously, I had no idea how old you were. Totally off subject. But I totally thought you were like in your early 20s. So, and I'm not even,
uh,
I'm not even BSing you on that. Like, I totally thought you were like in your early 20s. And then when you just
oh
said you had
well.
2 kids, I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. I waited until I was in my late 20s, got married, and had 2 babies. I'm like, I ain't gonna wait till I'm 40 and have some kids. I'm like, my husband, like, come on, we're gonna do this right now. We got
Right?
some kids right now. I'm like, all right, damn. So I'm glad we started and did it. I'm glad.
Right. That is
So
awesome. That is, I am very proud of you because that's like starting in your 20s is one thing too. I mean, 20s and 30s are still young too, but you started after you already were married and had kids. And
yeah, yeah.
they like I have kids of my own and I don't remember, my one son might have been with me the one time, but like they you never have a moment to yourself ever. And so like
Right.
trying to do a career and hold down a job, like some of my viewers, a couple of weeks ago, I was live streaming and I had my boys and I was playing Among Us with them. So two of them were on a cell phone, one of them was on my computer, and they're coming in and out, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is the worst thing ever. But I don't know. I think it gave people a good laugh, so I'm like, yeah, it's all good. But yeah, no, I that is really, really awesome. I mean, it just goes to prove, like you said, nothing. If you don't allow something to hold you back, nothing will hold you back from doing what
Hmm.
it is that you want to do. And that is, ask me, you know.
And
Um,
you know what?
go ahead.
And I don't mean to cut you off, but
No,
it's
you're
like I'm
good.
gonna make I'm gonna make this short and sweet, but like even like with my video shoot, like even before, like me and my husband was sitting on the sofa, and I was just like, doing some writing, just listen to some music or whatever, and then I just heard a knock on the door, like, uh, knock knock package. I'm like, what the heck? And it was a big ass box from a clothing company.
What?
And had a whole bunch of shoes and clothes. And I'm like, where did all this come from? I didn't order this. He was like, did you order this? And I was like, no. And I looked at it. It was just the shoes were my size. The clothes were my size. I'm like, come on now. I was just happy. I was just like, nah, if this isn't a blessing right here, then I don't know what is. And then I had the video shoot today, and then my sister, and she's not like my real sister. She's like a model friend or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She's like a fashion designer, and she's amazing, by the way. She did my hair and makeup today for the video.
Aww.
But she showed up like, look, sis, I got you. Whatever you need, I got you. And she was just there. So I guess she's basically my assistant or whatever. But yeah, it was just everything aligned. And when you're like on the path and you believe in yourself and you're doing it kind-heartedly, things will help. People will help you, and you don't even ask for it. They'll just be like,
exactly.
"Yo, I got you. What you need?"
Exactly.
And that's just how life works,
Now, I had a quick question here. I'm gonna play this one in the background. But your song "Gotta Be Me."
Oh, yeah. Every time I hear that song, I cry. But go ahead.
Let's see here.
Looking on the outside of my window, I can see more of the
you about to have me crying up in here. Oh well, shit.
without my eyes closed.
Oh,
can you hear it?
No, I love it. Yeah.
Taught me a lot to always stay strong through the tough times, to get along with the ones you love with all your might.
Good. See, that is the one thing I like about having a
Who knows I can't be wasting time on my kindness.
Yeah.
I just gotta be me.
Yay.
Keep my kindness.
Can you still hear it?
Yeah.
I just took my other headphones out.
I'm gonna start performing.
No, keep on. Do it, girl. Do your thing.
MK is my best friend. It's more than a bag. I keep my cash in. MK stands for my kindness. I cherish my blessings.
You have such a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
So you can see what they're saying. I can't not dance when I listen to it because it's just got that. Love it. Now, what for this song? What inspired you to write that song? I mean, obviously it's talking about just being you and doing you.
Yeah.
And that's totally it. And actually somebody just said she said she was sitting here grooving too, and she said you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Because a lot of artists will have their song that this is me, this is my message, I'm gonna do me, and this is what I'm gonna do. But I've also found that, like, if you go in and you look, everybody's got their own story behind that music. So
Yeah.
my question for you is, what is your story behind that one?
That was definitely like personal for me because like I MK, I was gonna call the song MK because it stands for my kindness or whatever, but MK, when I was mentioning the song MK, is I love Michael Kors. It's like the fashion design. So when I was saying like MK is more than the bag I keep my cash in, it's like it's your kindness. And basically what I was saying in the song is like, you know, I'm kind hearted. I love being kind to people. I love people. I love love. I just love people. And, a lot of people, they take that off as being, I don't know, like you're too gullible, or you're too, like you shouldn't be that much people will walk all over you or whatever. You gotta be a diva. You gotta be this, you gotta be this. Like people tell you what you gotta be, and you just sit back and you be like, but that's not me. I gotta do me. Like if I was placed on this earth to be kind hearted, to be loving, to just want to help people, just to be who I am, then that's who I should be. And that's why I wrote that song like so fast, because I was just grooving to it. Like I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, let me just write this how it is. Like, but it is mainly just about you gotta be yourself. You gotta not be afraid of being yourself. It doesn't matter how much makeup or how much you do with your hair or how flashy you are. As long as you just keep the personality you have, keep the spirit you have, you'll go far in life. You try to change for other people to impress people, you're losing your soul. You're losing who you are.
Yeah.
Basically. So yeah.
So I won't keep you too much longer because I know you gotta. I don't know if you're able to finish what you were doing today or not, but I know you got little ones and they're gonna probably be up early as heck. I'm on a third shift schedule, so I got all night. But that's because the kids are at their dad's right now. But anyways,
no, it's all good. I mean, they're asleep. It's all good.
Like it's all
they're
good.
asleep.
Like
yeah, they're
I
asleep.
mean, you're more than welcome to hang out for a while. Like we don't got anywhere to go anytime soon. Actually, what I am gonna do is I'm gonna open it up for you guys in chat and see if you guys have any questions for CienTell here, and I'll throw TTS on, and then that way we can all hear what they want to say.
Cool, that'll work.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
But like, how do you find that you're able to be true to yourself, to like stay true to yourself and not conform to what anybody else wants you to conform to? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Shoot. I mean, you have to really do self-talk. You have to meditate. You have to just like constantly remind yourself that just stay true to your purpose, stay true to who you are.
Oh yeah.
And just you really just have to really like converse with yourself, and just talk to yourself every day and get in a quiet place and just clear your head and just think about all of the good things in life. And just to continue to stay on the path that you're on. It gets rough because you come along, there's so many distractions, so many people trying to like conform you to do something or be something, or they don't agree with you. Bless you, hun. That was my baby listening. But yeah, it's because I'm always around all types of people every day, all day.
Right.
So you have to people come with their frustrations and anger on you, and you have to still just stay calm. And I have a day job at Meyer, customer service and service coordinating, but it's like, shoot, I'm around people all the freaking time.
Right.
So it's kind of like building tough skin for me.
Oh yeah.
To just
Oh yeah,
Yeah, so
working in that kind of an industry, it's can be
yeah,
very difficult. So I can
yeah.
totally understand that. And let's see here. Um, all right, yeah. And I had another question that I was going to ask you when I earlier, but I can't remember what it was. So, when you're not working, when you're not doing music and all of that, like what are your favorite what things do you like to do? Because I know a lot of times, you're just a person like just me and everybody else. Like I think a lot of times we get this like thought in our head that because somebody is a singer or a model or somewhat in the spotlight, we forget like they're human too. So,
Yeah.
um, what kinds of things do you like?
I love I love riding bikes. I love riding. I
Really?
don't have a bike right now. Yeah, me and my husband, when we were dating or whatever, when we were early in our marriage, we used to just ride our bikes. Even before I had the kids, we used to just ride our bikes everywhere. We used to just take walks, and we play basketball and football together. Like I'm just a Oh, and my husband said the Xbox, the
Oh, well,
video
of
game,
course.
the video gamer. um, yeah, he said there's nothing wrong
He's
with
more than
Halo,
welcome to come
but
say hi too if he wants.
yeah, she said you can say hi.
He can
AC
come
said you
say
can say
hi.
hi. She said you can come say hi.
We're just
There
streaming
is
on
what?
Twitch and chilling.
Yeah, we have a little. We have some other people on here, audience, little audience.
Oh, I can't hear anything anyway.
Oh, he can't hear anything, so I don't know. You have to like.
Okay. Okay.
Hello.
You enjoy your cup. How are you? I was
Good.
like, you enjoying the cup of coffee? I'm enjoying my nice can of dew.
See, I told you the whole reason he was going to offer you the dew is because he wanted the dew.
It was either a dew or a beer, but I don't drink much no more. So,
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
he's a kid at heart, so I guess we're both basically kids at heart. We just like to go out and just like be active and hang out. Like to play cards, play Uno, and cook.
Cook.
And
That's awesome.
yeah,
yeah, it was last time we played Uno. We were putting a dollar around,
oh yeah, we were betting on the winning games.
and
Nice.
she lost every time, except two,
Well,
maybe three.
I owed them $7. Okay, whatever. But still, I mean,
Oh my goodness. I regret turning on TTS now because it hates me right now. Okay, I just turned it off because then it starts talking and then I can't understand. I can't pay attention to two things at one time. Um,
it's okay.
Dark Sky was asking what kind of music do you do? You do R&B and
Yeah, it's mainly R&B. I'm I'm trying to like it's gonna be I would like to do maybe like country, but not just like the traditional country that we're used to, kind of like maybe like country pop, maybe do like a that's probably like sometime later in my future in the career, but right now I'm just R&B fused with pop and hip hop.
oh cool.
So yeah.
Let's see here. Actually, what I'm going to do is since we're on Zoom, I share my screen with you and then you can see chat too. All right.
Yeah.
Do you see chat? Um,
Yes, I do.
all right. Yeah, Dark just followed or just sorry, I can't even talk. Dark just came in a little bit late. But uh Russell PDX was asking, "Oh, what you do for exercise during quarantine?"
Exercise. I dance. I love dancing. Um, I love dancing and doing yoga, and I like just going outside and just like taking walks in the neighborhood with my daughter. She likes to ride her bike. I see she's going to be athletic like me, so
Oh, that'd be awesome.
um, yeah, yeah. That's what I do for exercise. Shit.
um, let's see. Sorry. There I go, playing with everything. Let's see. Can you see the chat there on the screen?
Yeah, yeah, I can see it. Yes,
Okay,
definitely.
there. All right. Sorry. Go ahead and see if you can see what
Um, as far as me being an up and coming artist, yeah, I would definitely say that. I'm starting to build like a buzz here in Detroit and in LA. Just a small. It's like it's slowly but surely getting there. I just have to do more marketing,
mhm,
and I would say probably sometime next year. This time next year, I'll be popping. I'll
you'll be
be popping.
popping.
I'll be out there. Yeah, I'll be out there.
That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome. Um, like speaking of quarantine, um, has quarantine or the coronavirus set you back at all with your recording stuff and all of that?
Honestly, it hasn't because the more time I spend indoors on my days when I'm not working, a regular 9 to 5, I'm at home writing. I'll just take maybe like 2 or 3 hours out of the day early when the kids are, asleep or my husband's busy. I'll just write. And
Mm,
I feel like the more writing I do and the more recording I do, that's gonna like catapult my
right.
my catalog is gonna be like really. I'm gonna have a long catalog and I'll have more music to put out, and so this quarantine actually has been a blessing. It's been a blessing and a curse, but it's been more of a blessing, I would say.
Gotcha. You're so cool. Um, let's see. Third from the bottom. Do you perform a lot? Are you mostly recording? And then do you put your
I'm
music on YouTube?
um I'm doing a lot of recording right now. I would just say I'm literally a recording artist now. Just a literally
Hmm.
recording artist. But I would love to do more online. I want to do more online performances. Because they want to be indoors and everybody's virtual.
Mm,
And they just want to like just have a link like, oh, I can see a concert and only pay this amount of money. I'll check it out.
right.
And I want to do more online performances for sure.
That'd be really cool. Like, you know,
Yeah.
virtual performances and whatnot. Especially since we
Yeah.
have, Zoom. We have um one thing you might even want to look into is Twitch, actually, because I'm live
Oh
streaming on
yeah.
Twitch right now, and it used to be mainly a gaming. I mean, it's still a gaming platform, but there's so much you can do with it now. Like they have so much out there now, which is really cool.
Yeah.
To check into. Um, let's
That's cool.
see.
That's cool.
Do you put your music on YouTube?
Yes, I put my music on YouTube. Um, I took down some music because I felt like it wasn't the music that it was my I call quote unquote scared music. I was kind
Mm-hmm.
of just like in that scared growing stage, but now
Gotcha.
I'm just like, okay, this is my this is my time now. So I'm gonna be putting more music out on my YouTube page, and my YouTube page is CienTell Music. It's just CienTell Music. And I'll be releasing a lot more stuff this year.
Okay. Which is I'm very, very excited about. I am very excited to see
Yeah, yeah,
because, and I know everybody here tonight has liked what they've heard so far. So
nice.
it's
And so
exciting.
I
Um,
appreciate the love.
yes. I mean, what else are we supposed to do? I mean, like we said, you got to help one another. Out with
Yeah.
everything. Dark was wondering, what you thought of what's going on lately in our country, and if you had any views on that or not. Um,
Well, um, what's going on right now? I know that as far as the politics, I know that yes, we do need a new person in the White House. We need a new president.
Right.
And I'm not a Trump supporter, period. Not too many people are.
Right.
But as far as like, Joe Biden getting in the office, I mean, he was a good right hand man with Barack, so I think he can hold his own. I think he can do hold a good position as US president. But as far as like the coronavirus, like all of this going on, it's like it's a bit frustrating, but I mean, like this too shall pass. It will pass,
Right.
and we don't know when it'll pass, but
No, definitely
it,
don't. But
it
it will. And like you said,
yeah,
this too shall pass. Like everything passes eventually. And I've told
yeah,
people before, it's like, we'll get there. It'll get there, but you got to go through the storm. And
hmm
sometimes that's the hardest. Like one of my favorite things was always, learning to dance, in the rain and in the storm.
yeah,
And, people say that, but it can be so challenging when you're going through that storm. And
yeah,
sometimes you just got to remind yourself, you know what? You can sit down for a second, but then you get your butt back up and you keep it moving
yep,
because,
yep, yep,
you'll never
yep,
see the other side if you don't. So
hmm hmm
I'm glad you
hmm
mentioned that because it's very true. Like, you know, it's
yeah,
easy to get overwhelmed with everything. That's one of the reasons I decided to start, the coffee and a conversation, because
yeah,
we need more positivity out there. And your music
yes,
definitely um has that. I listened to a whole bunch of different ones today and whatnot. Now, your song Straight Coastin', is that a new one
oh
also?
yeah. I released that song in 2016. It it wasn't it didn't have the I didn't get a lot of feedback, a lot of good feedback from it. A lot of people that heard it, they liked it, but a lot of people I didn't get enough fans that heard it. So I was like re-releasing it or whatever, but I mean, a lot of people are like catching on. So it's like there's so many artists that are in this industry. It's like I have to just like just stand out, like uh, find a way to just catch the artist's attention, catch
Hmm.
the listener's attention. So
Well, I will definitely say one of my favorites was, Gotta Be Me is definitely, I think, is an amazing song. And Slow,
thank you.
I like Slow. And I think part of it is because I like the music video on how it's done. I think is
Yeah,
awesome anyway. And then the story behind that of how he offered to shoot it for free, like that's pretty epic. But both of those I really
yeah.
like. And actually, PDX just said she found that one on Spotify. Are you talking? Hey, PDX, are you talking about the Straight Coastin' one? I think that's the one that she was talking about. She just found on Spotify, which is really cool. Um,
Sweet. Yeah.
so if you didn't
Amazing.
know, it's on Spotify.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That is really cool. Now, when you decide to release your album, hopefully, cross our fingers, maybe January. Um, but when you decide to release it, now will that be a full, like, 10, 12 song album then? Or will it just be more of like
Yeah.
an EP? Or,
It'll be a full length album. I don't know how many songs yet, but it will be full length. This will be my first album. I put out like a couple EPs that have like maybe 3 or 4 songs per EP, but I'm like, it's time to just like work more, and I had to just like it got difficult because I was like, man, I'm writing and then I gotta like find the music that fits my style. I'm like, man, it was like overwhelming. But then
right.
like that one day when I was just on Instagram, this one guy was like, yo, hit me up. And then I just listened to his catalog and I was just like in tears. And my daughters was in the kitchen like they were just like spinning around in circle dancing. And I'm like, this is my style. And when I heard it, it was just like it had that R&B neo soul style. It had real instruments. It was just like I feel like this album is gonna be it's gonna be like more R&B neo soul. It's gonna be very entertaining, of course. I think it's gonna like fit everyone. Like it's gonna fit a lot everybody. I feel like everyone's gonna like it.
Gonna be a little bit there for because I did notice with your style, like it's very R&B, but it's very eclectic at the same time because it's not strictly one or the other. It kind of combines a little bit. I mean, it's your own style.
Yeah.
It's you. And it's very vibrant. You know, you've got the slow element in there on some of them, and then other ones it's like, oh no, here we're gonna hit it hard and we're gonna do it, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's great to see when people aren't afraid. Just be themselves. Like life is too short to not to be.
Yes.
So I was very, very glad that I ran into you. And it was awesome because it was like, I don't know, several months ago, probably. Like maybe right before. Was it before Corona? I don't remember. Or it might have been
I think it was
after.
like, it
might have been like right after,
like
or whatever. Because
after.
it was like one of the few times that I actually got out of the house. And
Yeah.
then ran into you again. And that was right after I had just started streaming. And love it. Absolutely love it. Like, and if you'd be willing, like, to come back on again, like once you have, some more music done or when you decide to release your album, I would love to have you back on again. And I think others, that are watching this would really like to definitely see you come back on here. And then Dark was asking if you use your real voice or a reverb or an auto tune. Or if you use your real voice.
Honestly, I prefer using my real voice, but most of the engineers I worked with, they're like, just put a little effect on your voice. I mean, it's not gonna hurt or whatever. But as long as it's just not something that makes me sound robotic or make me sound like something I'm not or whatever, and you just like hear my true natural sound, that's all that really matters. But as far as like the new shit that I got coming out, I'm like, it's like I'm so excited about it, about my new project. It's ridiculous. Like I'm just ready to I just know that it's gonna be on the iTunes R&B charts. That's how confident I am in it.
Well,
I believe in it
it.
so much. Yeah,
I wouldn't doubt it a bit because going through like your stuff that's a couple of years old and then like your newer stuff and everything else, like you can see how you've progressed and how your style has kind of developed and you're finding your way just like everybody does, whether no matter what it is, we got to find our own little niche and what it is that we do. Now have you performed in front of people before as far as like with your singing, or has it all been mainly like just recording?
I've done just like a few small local shows. I did a show in Chicago like years ago. That concert, it was okay, but I had a backup dancer and everything. It was a decent show.
Right.
I was like extremely like at the baby stage of my career, so I was like, ooh, that show, it was okay, but I was still like, people were like, oh, you did awesome, you're a great artist. And I'm like, but then when I did this one show with this artist, and it's like, man, it was so long ago. I was pregnant and I did the show, and her name is Alicia Sun. She was an artist. She lived in LA. Now she lives in Texas, and she was looking for artists to do as an opening act for a show in Detroit. And I was like, I'll do it. and I did it, and I was pregnant, and I mean, I was showing, but I was still, I performed straight coasting and all that, and everybody was like, "You did great," and I didn't make a lot of money from the show, but I was like, I got out there and did it, but
Exactly.
um,
And that's what I tell a
yeah,
lot of people too, is that it's like you, even if you don't like make the money with it right away, because a lot of times I know with I do graphic design and stuff like that, you've got to build up a portfolio of some sort. They're like, oh, well, what experience do you have? Or, whatever.
hmm
So, you know,
yeah,
if nothing else, it gives you that extra experience. It gives you, you know, another thing under your belt that you can say, hey, well, I've done this. Yeah, it was early in my career, but I still did it. And I did it pregnant.
yeah,
So I don't know how
yeah,
many people
yeah,
can say that they've done that. So I'd say that's
yeah.
pretty good feat there. Now, your song, Forever. Is it Forever? Trying to think.
But yeah,
Yeah. Um, is there a story behind that one? I promise that's the
forever
last
that
one I'll
one.
ask about.
I know that's all good. I appreciate it. That song that was just about my marriage. Um, just me and my husband coming together, and we had a child, and that's before I had the second child, and that was just about our marriage, like you and us in it together forever. Together
Right?
forever. I got you, you got me. Look what we did. We together forever.
That's
It
awesome.
was just like it was just a, it was just a laid back, chill song. Um, Something that any relationship, any marriage out here they can relate to.
Right? That's awesome. Um, Dirk was asking, have you celebrated with any big artists before
Celebrated.
or hung
I
out with
I
or
oh yeah,
anything?
I've met a few big artists, and honestly, I didn't even really like. I don't know. I met them just like by accident. It was just
Mm,
kind of like I I met Whitney Houston. Remember that movie Sparkle?
mm-hmm.
Um, I was an extra for that movie. And when
What?
I met her and I looked at her and I was just looking at her. I was just like daydreaming. I was just like, whoa, Whitney Houston's in my face right now. She was like, how are you, baby girl? How are you? I was like, oh, Lord Jesus, I'm about to cry. When I see her and she literally just like, and I gave her a hug and she spoke, that was amazing. And then, when I met Aretha Franklin, it wasn't like in person, but it was kind of like, I was like a background dancer, not
Mm-hmm.
really that long or whatever. But
That's still pretty cool. I mean, it's Aretha Franklin.
yeah,
Like,
you're right.
not many people can even say that they were an extra dancer or anything for her. So
Right.
I'd say that's pretty big.
Yeah, but I think me and Whitney Houston before she passed, that right there. And then when I found out she passed,
Oh,
I was in New York doing a fashion show, and
oh wow.
I just heard on the news like Whitney Houston has died, and I was like,
Oh
my heart
no.
stopped. I was like, what? And I was just like, I was crying, and I just rushed home. Cause I was like, man, I met that woman, and the fact that she even spoke to me, even just like I could tell, she was like, yeah, you're special. I could just tell in her eyes, like, but yeah,
That is so cool.
uh,
That is so cool. Now,
yeah.
you mentioned, I had totally forgotten this, but you mentioned that you did fashion. Now, do you still model or is that, you know, do you still model to this day or are you focusing mainly just on your singing career now versus doing that?
Yeah, I still do small modeling gigs, by request. I mainly just do like I'm a figure model.
Okay.
Like for like art classes or like if
Oh,
different
that's cool.
museums will be like, hey, we need you to model this for our painting class or something like that. Or but I haven't done any fashion and runway in a while.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned the fashion runway. I didn't model myself, but
Yeah.
I went to cosmetology school and did hair and
Cool.
makeup for local Detroit and Flint fashion runway shows. So,
Sweet. Sweet.
yeah, and and I've told other people that, have seen me do the live streams and whatnot that I talk with in our community. Like, I'm used to being behind the scenes. Like I'm
Yeah.
used to doing all the techie stuff and, you know, the fashion runway shows, the hair and the makeup, and I don't go out on the stage. I don't get in front of the camera. So like doing the live stream is a little
Yeah.
bit different. But
Yeah.
how long did you do the modeling for? What age? Now, did you start out doing the fashion runway show modeling, or how was
Yeah.
that for you?
Yeah. Yeah, I started in Detroit. Just doing like small local fashion shows and just mainly just like runway shows and I used to like when I was like 21, 22, I used to just like travel back and forth to New York and just do like free photo shoots for photographers. And I did New York Fashion Week.
Really?
Um, it was like one show. I didn't get paid much, but it was like I did that, and um, I was just like so passionate about modeling and dancing. And back then, like singing was like the last thing on my mind because I was like, I don't think I can do that. Then I transitioned to just being a musician. I'm like, whoa, I didn't think I was gonna be like full force in it like this. Like,
Right.
I don't even think about anything else but just music. I'm like, whoa, this is deep. So
Now, do you find like most
yeah.
of your lyrics and stuff come like just kind of more sporadically, or do you like actually sit down, be like, okay, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna write a song now, or is it more you just kind of have this going through your head and you're like, okay, no, I need to write that down? Or how does that typically work for you? I know everybody it's a little bit different, or is it kind of
Yeah. It's both, honestly. It's
is it
both. It's mainly when I'm in a quiet space and I'm not really running around and I'm just like just sitting and chilling, and then I'll just be listening to some instruments, or even when I'm at Maya or whatever, and it'll be slow and a couple of lines that I'll just rhyme will just come in my head, and I'll just grab a receipt paper and just write it on the write it on the
right?
receipt paper and just stick it in my pocket. I'm like, I'm gonna remember that, and then I'll just like record it in my phone so I don't forget the melody of it.
Right.
And then I listen to an instrumental and I'm like, oh, that fits well, and then I'll just start going, just continuously writing again, like because writing, like songwriting is hard.
I can't even
It's
imagine.
hard. It's hard, especially when you're first of all you're finding like the melody, you're finding the music to match the lyrics, and then you have to find something catchy because people are just like people have short attention spans. Not everyone, but
Right.
most people do. They want to hear something that it just sticks with them and they remember it.
Exactly.
Right. So like now I just write catchy stuff and just stuff that gravitates, that people will be like, oh, I want to hear that again. I'm about to buy it, or you know, that's how it is out here. So
Now, there. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There.
oh, you sent me something.
Oh yeah, I was showing you the
Oh, cool.
chat.
Oh, sweet. Oh, booty buffet. Thank you, booty buffet.
Yeah, Booty. I don't know if Booty's
Thank
still
you.
here or not, but I will let her know. Yeah, Booty's pretty cool. We
Yeah.
joke around all the time. I don't know if you know the song by I think it's Jason Derulo, and it's Body Language. Have you ever heard
Oh
that song?
yeah, yeah. I know that
I
song.
sent that to her the other day. I'm like, all I can think of is like, you know, because it reminds me of her every time because it says booty in it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's crazy things that we do.
Yeah.
Now, is your husband? Does he help you out with, you know, getting stuff for the videos and stuff, or you know? I'm assuming he's fairly supportive. He seems pretty supportive, so I'm assuming he's
Yeah,
a big support.
he's supportive. He thinks that I should like slow down a bit with writing music, but I've done it a lot, and it's like I've learned if you're not like keeping yourself relevant, at least putting out a song like every few months, or just like reminding your listeners like, yo, I'm still here. If you're just kind of like in the background for a while, people are just like move on to the next hot new artist, or they'll move on to the next. And since I'm still up and coming, I gotta stay relevant.
Right.
So but he definitely supports me 100%. He just like, he was managing me still at one point, but he was like, you don't
Much.
listen to me. Yeah, it's too much. He's like, you don't listen to me. You need to. And I'm like, look, man, it's not that. It's just, but
Well,
it's
and
all good.
that's how it is a lot of times too. I mean, when you work with the person that you're with, a lot of times, sometimes it works great. Other times you wind up butting heads a little bit more because it's like they think you should do it this way, and even if they're right, sometimes it's just you just don't want to do it just because they're the one that said it. So,
Yeah,
no, I can
that's
totally
usually
understand that. Well,
that's usually the
actually,
case.
I am going. It's after midnight now, so I
Okay.
think I'm going to call it a night here. But I
All
appreciate it
right.
so much for joining us for this. And yes, please, please
Yes.
let us know when your album comes out, and we'll definitely have you on again. And if there's anything I can do or my community can do to help you out with what you're doing, let me know, and we will
Yeah.
totally totally, do everything that we can. I threw your links up there in the chat so that people know, and I will
Thank
definitely
you.
tell them to, you know, check it out and everything because, you know, you're pretty cool. I think a lot of people, said thank you for hanging out with us, and
You're very welcome. Thank you. Thanks
you're
for having me.
all right. Thank you, and you have a great night. Appreciate it so
All right.
much. All right.
Yes. Have a great night. Good night, everyone. Much love.
All righty, guys. Well, let's see here. Hallelujah. And there's two of me again. All right, now there's not. Yay. Maybe. Haha. Oh, hold on here. And we'll go back to this. So, and I'm going to throw TTS back on here real quick. Oh, okay. Okay, there. Oh, hold on. Where'd you guys went away? Okay. And we're back. So, what did you all about CienTell tonight? She's pretty cool. You know, very down to earth, guys. And I gotta. You all have any suggestions or anybody that you guys would like to see at all? Sure. Sorry, guys. I apologize. And actually, what I'm gonna do for anybody that actually missed um it, I'm going to pull up CienTell's music video again, and I know I'm horrible here. Okay, here we go. Booty, you always got suggestions. Well, while you're trying to think of suggestions, all right. Well, play. Go real quick. I'll play. Do you guys want to hear slow again? Not sure your noise good on, but you do. It's cutting out your voice a little. Well, Is that any better? Thank you, Raven. I appreciate it. I need to get a new microphone, honestly. Okay. Yeah, I had it down too far then. I'll go ahead and play her video real quick for y'all. There it is. Thanks. Appreciate it. Hold on, let me pull this open here. I
could take it slow, slow. We could take it slow. We could take it slow, slow. We could take it slow. We could take it slow, slow. We could take it slow. We could take it slow. We could take it slow. I don't want you to ever let go. Ever let go. We could take it slow. And I'ma make you grab on hold. Cause we're about to take it slow. I could make it possible. You'll be coming out your clothes.
I'll be right back after the video.
Out your clothes. So play a little as we turn the lights way down low. So we can take it last place. Spin the bottle every hour, something different. Kissing, touching, got me blushing. Won't change this moment for nothing. Now you're thinking what I'm thinking. Every day is cuddle season. Every day is cuddle season. Body talk is the reason. There is something about you that makes me feel so safe. Wrap your arms around me. I love your embrace. Wait a second. Let me light these candles, aromatherapy. Stimulate my mind, calling mental telepathy. I don't want you to ever let go. Ever let go. We can take it slow. And I'ma make you grab on hold. Cause we're about to take it slow. I can make it possible. You'll be coming out your flow. Out your flow. So play a little as we turn the lights way down low. So we can take it. Now it's just you and me under the starlight. Red, pink, and white roses are the flowers that I like. Spread them all over the floor. It's slow dancing. Romance at its finest. This is our chance to experience euphoria. Explore the possibilities.
Stream Elements.
Make me feel special when you
Check out CienTell, https://ciencity.com.
Rush, baby, take it slow. Just take it slow. We can take it slow. I don't want you to ever let go. Ever let go. We can take it slow. And I'ma make you grab on hold. Cause we're about to take it slow. I can
Stream
make it
Elements.
possible. You'll be coming out.
Set follow underground_media on Twitter, https://twitter.com/silencemedia.
So we can take it slow. We can take it slow, slow. We can take it slow. We can take it slow, slow. We can take it slow.
Let's see here. Okay, please. I'm back. Yay. Sorry about that. Yeah, so hopefully you guys liked that tonight. CienTell is pretty cool. Pretty down to earth. Every week I will be doing coffee and conversation. And my hope is that I actually will be doing another one tomorrow with Grumpy Old Dude. He actually owns his own YouTube channel and everything. only problem is that it's tentative for 7 o'clock Eastern tomorrow night. I don't know if I will be able to do it yet or not. But if anything comes up, I'll let y'all know. It'll be posted on my channel, but for right now, I should be having another one. I was gonna do it next week, but instead decided to do it this week because Grumpy Old Dude's not available. And I will actually put it in the chat. If you just go on YouTube and you look up Grumpy Old Dude, you will be able to find it. Because he has his own YouTube channel. Let me see if I can find it, and I'll put it in the chat. He does all sorts of different stuff, but he's actually pretty cool. I figured probably next week we'll do it on Tuesday as well, but tomorrow evening, if I'm able to keep with the stream, I will be also streaming Medea afterwards. I am not sure which Medea play I'll be streaming yet, so we'll find out. I streamed Medea Goes to Jail the play before, but I've got a couple of other ones that I can stream. I just don't know which ones I'm doing yet. So if y'all have any ideas or any that you'd like to, let me know. But for now, I think I am going to call it a night. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate the new followers. If you guys ever have any suggestions, or if you have any requests for interviews, please reach out to me on here, whisper on here, or DM me on Twitter or on Discord if you're on my Discord. So just let me know. So with that, I will talk to you guys later until the next coffee and conversation. Have a good night.